I'm number 43888, Sergeant Chipepo Jason Musonda of the Zambia Police. And today, the 16th of July, I've decided to resign out of the public service because of the things that I've noticed that I'm not happy with. And you know, when certain things are happening in life, we expect one to take responsibility. And I've just decided personally, at a personal level, just to take responsibility on what is happening in Zambia. I've got a lot of questions, and a lot of questions that people have not answered, and that I've written letters to people so that I can get answers on these issues. But I've never gotten answers. So I've decided to resign today. First of all, I'll start with the issue of cadreism in Zambia. I really don't know why we've allowed political parties to have their own security system amongst themselves. I don't know why. I don't know, and I want to know. Why have we allowed such a thing? Why have we allowed cadres or political parties to have, security systems amongst themselves? Why have we allowed such a thing? First of all, we've seen UPND security, PF security, NDC security. Why? Because ultimately the only security system that is allowed in this country is the Zambia police. We are the state police, and we are trained to provide security for our people. But why should we have another organ of security system, helping us to do our job? I want answers on that one. Why have we allowed cadres or political parties to have their own security system? The PF, they're in government. They've got access to the state police anytime they want us. Anytime they want, they want police, to do something, we are always available for them. We are always available. Whatever. I've been in the Zambia police for quite some time now, and I've been there for political parties, for these political parties. Let me tell you something. You see, when you give somebody a mandate, let's say you give somebody, say you are a security personnel, that's a title you've given to that person. That's a title you've given. Okay, this is your title. You are a security personnel. In our party, your position, you are a security personnel. That person has to do something, has to do some mandate for him to, to feel validated. Why is he in that political party? To prove that point, he has to engage himself in violence. He has to show the reason why he's getting a salary. All of us, when you've been given a mandate, somebody gives you a job, you'd want to prove as to why you should get a salary, why you are getting a salary on that job. Why? You should prove it to your supervisor or to your in charge. So when you give somebody a position to say, you are a security personnel in our political party, you are a security, you are amongst the security team, that person has to do something. And this is where we've lost it. This is where we've lost it. Because we've allowed these political parties to have these, so-called security, UPND security, PF security. We've allowed this to continue. This is something we have to do away with. This is something we have to do away with immediately. Immediately. immediately we have to do away with this thing. Because it is degrading our morals, it is disturbing our peace, it's disturbing almost each and every Zambian in the country right now. And we have to take responsibility for our country. We can't go on keeping quiet, remaining in the system, and somebody is degrading you. Me, I'm a victim. Cadres have threatened my life before, especially PF cadres have threatened my life before. They've done, a cadre has got the power to abuse the law with impunity in this country. We've seen, it's now that we are seeing these things happening. Why have we degenerated to this end? And honestly, why have we allowed cadreism in our country to take this stage? Why have we allowed this? Why have we allowed this? That's a question that begs for an answer. What is that, that security system, what is it doing in these political parties? What is the role of those, thugs with big chests and big muscles? What's the role of those guys that you have called security? And why do we need those guys around? Because if we aspire probably to the UPN and to the NDC, if we aspire to lead this country, we should do away with, we should have enough confidence in the state police that they will provide, the intended security that is needed. The needed security. Why should we create another security system amongst ourselves? Why? Coming to the other issue, another group that we've been training, and probably it's the same group that is emerging to be, the same cadres. For a long time now, we've been training criminals in this country. We've been training criminals. We've been training criminals, and these criminals, we teach them a lot of things. We teach them how to hold a firearm, how to shoot, how to aim, how to conceal, all military tactics. We teach them. At the end of the day, we don't employ them. I'm talking about the cadets, the school cadets. Those school cadets have got no mandate to say they will be employed when they are done with school. There is no mandate. There is no mandate. I've been to almost all the recruitments in Zambia police, in army. I've been observing. When recruitment comes, they don't say, no, we are going to start with the cadets first. No. When recruitment comes, it's free for all. Every person, whoever. And what happens is that it's the sons and daughters of cadres who get those jobs. And that's the Zambia that we've created. That's the Zambia that we've created. But look at how unfair we are treating the cadets. These cadets are recruited as early as grade 8. Grade 8, a cadet is training. You start training this cadet in grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, up to the time this cadet finishes school. At some point their friends will be in class, them they will be outside jogging, training, doing a lot of things, doing, military tactics, learning a lot of things. Their friends are in class. Their friends are in class. They are they are studying, they are doing prep and other things. Then they are busy jogging. They are providing security for the school. They are busy providing security for the school. And at the end of the day, there is no mandate for them that they will be employed. When employment comes, the Zambia police is recruiting, the army is recruiting, ZAF, this other ZNS is recruiting. The playing field is leveled, free for all. Any person can enter. There is no, we'll start with the cadet. No. So here comes this person that has got passion for the job, and this person who doesn't have passion for the job. This person who has got passion for the job, will perform to the best of his ability, who will serve the people with dignity and love. And that's what we need. We need people in these systems who've got passion for the job. And not just bringing in because that is what is easy to become. Then somebody comes and enters the system. This is why we've got indisciplined police officers today. People that cannot, provide the necessary and the necessary and the needed, security for our people. It's because we are taking people, or we are recruiting people that have got no passion, leaving out these cadets that we've been training from grade 8, leaving them. These people have got the passion, they've got the desire, they've got, they've got that zeal. They want to be moving in combat, they want to be moving in uniforms. They love that. They love playing with guns, they want guns around them. That's their passion. And when somebody is pursuing, passion, when somebody is doing what he loves, the performance is different. The performance is different, because if I've got passion and you don't have passion, they put us, together. I'll perform better than you because me, I'm doing it out of love. And this is why our police officer can get a gun and shoot a colleague because of the same thing which I'm talking about. So please, this needs our immediate, to whoever that this may concern, please intervene in the issues of cadets. Because I think, suspectedly, these are the same people that are emerging to be cadets. They've got love of, they want to be wearing uniforms, they want to be wearing regalias, they want to be wearing boots. So, you fail to employ them. Then they go in the streets, they go in the streets, then in the streets again you follow them, allow them to say, if you join us, yes, we'll allow you to wear even, the army uniform. You can even wear an army uniform, you can even wear a police uniform. This is where it is coming from. Because, we failed to employ them, we failed to put them in the system, now we have to use them as cadres. And those people are trained, and this is the reason why they are masquerading in the army uniforms and all these. They want to look like soldiers, they want to look like police officers, because they've got that passion. They wanted to be in the system a long time, now that time is no more, but they still have the passion, and now you have to use them as cadres. And that is the reason why we are degenerating. Let me tell you something. Did you know that leadership determines the attitude of the followers? Leadership determines the attitude of the followers. Leadership determines the behavior of the followers. Leadership determines the mindset of the followers. Leadership determines the success of the followers. Leadership is so powerful. We've decided to take leadership for a joke, but leadership is so powerful that it shouldn't be taken for granted. It shouldn't be taken for granted. What is leadership? Leadership is not about pursuing people to follow you. Leadership is not about pursuing people to follow you. Leadership is about you pursuing your purpose, and people should follow you. True leaders don't pursue followers. True leaders don't pursue followers. They've got nothing to do with followers. They pursue their purpose, and people follow them because they are pursuing their purpose. They are pursuing their dream. They are pursuing what they are intended to pursue, and that's the reason why people follow them naturally, because they are pursuing their purpose, and people have seen that what they are pursuing is something that should be followed, deserves their attention. What is leadership? Leadership is not a right you demand on the streets. It's not a right you go on the road and demand. Leadership is a privilege followers gives you. Leadership is a privilege followers gives you. It's not that you are the most intelligent one. It's not that you are the most, you are the chosen breed. You are the chosen person. You are the only person that can lead at that particular time. But that's just a privilege people gives you to say, at this point, it's you that should lead us. It's you that should determine the change in our time. And now I get so surprised and amazed when I see African leaders and Zambian leaders in particular taking leadership, like it's a scheme, to use to threaten people, you can wake up today and make a statement, threaten people. No, 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 no. My African people have suffered on this land. My African people have suffered, and will not allow that suffering to enter into the 21st century. You know, we've suffered. Our history has been about suffering. And now we are free. And now we are free. We need freedom. And that's the reason why I've decided that I will not allow anyone to enslave my people at my watch. I will not be there to look to look at you while you impoverish my people, while you take my people for a ride. Please, I will not be there, and not at my watch. You know those days when slaves were taken, from Africa, days of slavery, when those, slaves were being taken from Africa, there was this statement which they were telling them, the whites were telling them, as they were selling them. When they reached Mississippi and all those places, there was this statement which they were telling them. Be seen but not heard. Be seen but not heard. Be seen but not heard. This is the statement. This is the statement they were telling them. This is the statement. This is the statement they were telling them. Be seen but not heard. Idi Amin once said it in a different context. He said, yes, there is freedom of speech, but I cannot assure freedom after speech. This is the exact words which we are telling our people. Be seen but not heard. These are the exact words which my ancestors were taught. As they were selling them to their fellow whites, they were telling them to say, you should be seen, but your voice should not be heard. And we cannot allow that statement to continue in the 21st century. We are not going to continue with this statement. When people elected you, sir, when these people decided to elect you as the member of parliament, as the president, wherever you are across Africa, as these people decided to elect you, they elected you, but that didn't mean that they've lost their minds. Electing you does not mean that they've surrendered their minds to you, they've surrendered their brains to you. It means they've just selected you, they've given you that privilege to provide leadership to them at that particular time. And you shouldn't take advantage of it. You shouldn't grow big-headed, because these are the people that elected you. And for crying out loud, you should be appreciative. You should be appreciative. You should show that love to say, okay, yeah, they've given me a chance to prove something to them. Therefore, I shouldn't fail them. Therefore, I shouldn't fail them, because they've entrusted me with a mandate. Because it's not that when we elect you, you are the most intelligent, you are the most learned. No, you are not the most intelligent. You are not the most intelligent. There are people who've got professors. We've got people that are intelligent. We've got people that are, that can lead better. But it's you who've decided to say, okay, this person, we need this person at the moment. We need him. And then when we put you there, when we decide that you should be there, you start mistreating us. You start telling us that we don't think. You start telling us that we are nothing. Come on. We can do better. We can do better. The reason why, I've even resigned. I've resigned from the police. It's because I feel this job borders on my integrity. I feel this job borders on my integrity. We've lost we've lost our integrity in this country. We've lost our integrity. A cadre can come at the police station and do whatever that he wants and give instructions. A cadre, a political cadre, someone with no training, no security understanding of whatsoever, can come at the police station and give instructions. And we are even seated to say we are developing. We are developing. No, that should not be the case in a democracy. You know, just like Idi Amin said, that yes, there is freedom of speech, but I cannot assure freedom after speech. That statement. This is the exact words which we are telling our people. Our people should be seen, but their grievances, their views should not be heard. And I wonder why, we can't just, allow them. 3-4 weeks ago, some youths in Lusaka wanted to protest. For, they wanted good, the aim for their protest wanted to talk about governance, they wanted to talk about, corruption, they wanted to talk about all these issues, all these touching issues, which are important, which are critical. But somebody gave an instruction to me, to the Zambia police, saying to me, because I was in the Zambia police then, to say we shouldn't allow them. And some man from Kabwe even said you should even break their bonds. But these are people that are just asking questions. And I think we should learn to draw a line between opposition and a concerned citizen. A concerned citizen has got the future to protect. He's just talking about his welfare. He just wants his welfare to be certain. He just wants things to be straight in his environment, in his society. That's the reason why he's talking. That's the reason why he's talking. And now, because we can't differentiate, a concerned citizen and opposition, that's the reason why we had to come out and say, we shouldn't allow that protest to go on. But that was going to be a peaceful protest. And we, the police, were ready to protect these people. I believe if you gave a proper directive, who are going to move in and protect them until they hear their grievances or they present their grievances. But we didn't allow that. Instead, we started chasing them. We started looking for them all around. Later they protested on Facebook. That should not be the case in the 21st century. People should have the right to protest. The right to protest. Full right. As long as they are not engaging in destructive behaviors, they are not engaging in anything that is malicious, that is detrimental to the society, we are supposed to allow them. We are supposed to allow them. And why are we so scared? Because at some point I feel it's just fear that has gripped us. That we don't want to hear anyone talk. Anyone who talks is the threat. Anyone who says something, he has been paid, he has been sponsored. Those are the statements we hear. Those are the statements we hear. But I want to take this opportunity to remind my fellow Africans, we only have this land, this territory to protect. This territory to protect. We only have one Zambia. And therefore, if we continue allowing people left, right, center to be dragging us, we have ourselves to blame. The future and the future generations to come will insult this generation. Who insult this generation, who will call this generation names because we failed to take responsibility. We, the youths of this land. And this is the reason why, I can't stay on a job that borders on my integrity as a person, because I have the love of humanity in my heart. I have the love of humanity. I love Zambia more than any country in the world. I love Africa. I love Africa. Because we are the only continent. We are the only continent that was enslaved. We are the only continent. We are the only continent that was enslaved. People cannot provide leadership. They love titles so much. They love their position so much. They love their positions. You know, true leadership, when you get, elected to a certain position, don't fall in love with that position. Don't fall in love with that position. Instead, provide leadership. Use that, use that position to create more leaders. Use that position to create more leaders. That's the only way to go. That's true leadership. You know, when you get elected to a certain position, it's a chance for you to create more, to inspire more. But look at how we've introduced politics without principles. We've introduced politics without principles in the country. We are telling the younger generation that violence is the way to secure your seat. Violence is the way to secure your position. This is what we are telling the Zambian people, the Zambian youths. And please hear me out. The younger generation is listening and is watching. If we do not rise, we the youths of this country, if we do not rise and take responsibility, this country, in the next 10 years, will be a dictator, will be a dictatorship country. We'll be under dictatorship. We'll be under dictatorship. We'll be under dictatorship. And, it amazes me how these leaders have tend to love, positions and titles. You would wonder, why? Why is it that they've fallen in love with positions so much? They've fallen in love with positions so much that they don't even have respect for the people. African youths, please hear me. Hear my voice. We've got a problem. And this problem it's not something we have to joke with. If we have to fight it, we have to have youths with an understanding. It's only when you learn to lead that you may follow. When you don't know salt, you don't know sugar, somebody can bring salt to you to say it's sugar and you accept that this is sugar. So we have to know who should lead and who shouldn't. We have to start, we have to have an understanding. We have to have an understanding. Because the reason why I've said this, because we have a problem. The biggest thing that is in a politician's mind, it's not about improving your life, it's not about your welfare, it's not about you. Stop being dumb. Stop being foolish in the head. Stop being foolish. The biggest thing in a politician's mind is re-election. The very day you elect someone to office today, an African leader, the very day you elect him to office, he starts planning, the biggest thing begins to be re-election. Re-election. How am I going to be re-elected next election? So the very day you elect him to office, he starts thinking, well, now he's going to manipulate you to come and win the coming elections. And that's not what we need. That's not what we need. We need leaders that are going to understand that, leadership is not about manipulation. It's about inspiration. Leadership is not manipulating. It's not about manipulating people. It's not about manipulating people. It's about inspiration. It's about pursuing your purpose. It's about, providing leadership, quality leadership for the people. And to understand that leadership is a chance followers gives you. It's not the right you demand. It's not the right, you demand to say I should be the leader. No, it's something that people gives you as a privilege to lead them. And now we've got a problem. This is the reason why our African leaders and our Zambian leaders cannot mentor us. You will never find an African leader mentoring anyone, going on national television and start mentoring the youths in the country. No, they will not do that because they want to keep the knowledge to themselves. They want to keep that information to themselves so that they can be using knowledge as the discriminatory factor. So that they can be writing on your ignorance. They can be writing on your ignorance because you don't know. And that's where I've got a problem. You know, we don't have leaders in Africa. We don't have leaders. We don't have leaders. What we have is just a group of parasites riding on our fears. We have got a group of parasites riding on our fear. Because they've told you that if you speak, you will go to prison. And you are scared. You are afraid. No, my mother, is she going to survive? My wife? No, I can't talk. You are a coward. They've created a coward in you. And they are successful. You know, they know that, you know, they know how to do that. They know how to do that. But we don't need that. I want to tell African Zambia today that we do not need leaders who are like that. We need leaders that are going to foster the heritage of the next generation, not the next position. Not the next position. Leaders that are going to look at the future and not just, you know, to manipulate you and me because we are the voters of today. You know, there is one Zambian musician. He really inspired me very much, and I'm so proud even to mention his name today. His name is Pompey. I don't know his real names, but his name is Pompey. You know, some years back, this artist was a secular music artist. Was a secular, you know, music artist. He used to do secular music, and he was very good at it. You know, he raps, he sings, you know how to do it. He understands music very well, you know. So this guy sometimes, some years back, decided to say, I'm going to stop singing rap music, I'm going to stop, you know, singing secular music, I'm going to start singing gospel. I'm going to start singing for my Lord. I'm going to start singing for my, you know, my Creator. So this guy changed, and he ventured into gospel singing, and he's still successful. His music is great. You know, when he was asked, he was asked to say, "But Pompey, why have you done this? Why have you stopped singing secular music?" He said, "The younger generation is listening. I don't want to contribute to the decay of our morals. I've got a responsibility to protect the morals of the next generation." That is leadership. That is leadership. High levels of leadership. His concern is not about this generation. His concern is about the next generation, because he feels, I can't contribute to the next, you know, I don't want to contribute, you know, moral decay or decayed morals, you know, to the future generation. I don't want to contribute to the moral decay of our country. I don't want to contribute to the moral decay of our people. That is leadership. People that are not fostering this generation, but the next generation. Those are the people we need. People who understands love. People who understands humanity. And we have got a lot. We've got a lot to learn from Pompey. We've got a lot to learn from Pompey. We need more people to come up with that. And you politicians, you should learn a lot. Probably, you know, you should conduct a lecture, Pompey, one of these fine days, and lecture these people. We can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. You know, a lot of politicians now are rising in Africa. Young politicians. Young politicians are waking up to say, no, if you want to be rich, politics is the way to go. If you want to have a lot of wealth, politics is the way to go. A lot of people are now masquerading to say, no, Msepela, youth leadership, that is the norm. But I want to tell you, the people that are aspiring, we don't need more politicians. We've got enough already. What we need is leadership in politicians. We don't need politicians that are going to, deceive the people. Tell them, entice the people with your promises, then you don't fulfill them. Leadership is about sacrifice. Sacrificing yourself for the people. Pompey, the Pompey that I'm just from talking about, sacrificed his career. How many people, how many artists will do that? How many? Leadership is about sacrifice. You have to sacrifice yourself. You have to sacrifice yourself for the things that you believe in, for the people that you love, for the people that you feel you care for and you've got the responsibility. Oftentimes people get comfortable. When they start seeing large crowds of people around them, a lot of people have come to watch them. A lot of people have come to tell them something, to hear from them. Rallies, music concerts, churches, people get so impressed when they see a lot of people. They see a lot of people coming to watch them. They call them, they are my fans. No, they are my people. It's because they've got a shallow understanding. They've got no understanding. Those people that have gathered around you, or those people that are gathering you, it's not you that they are following. It's not you that they are following. They are following your gift. I'll repeat. They are following your gift. You are a fruit. You are a tree that was sent to this world. You are a tree that was sent to this world to come and produce, to come and feed the world with your fruits. So when you see people, you're a comedian and people around you, people are seated, you are standing, you are talking, and they are chanting, they are clapping, they are celebrating, they are enjoying the moment. Don't be deceived that they followed you. Don't be deceived that it's you they followed. They've followed your gift, your talent, that ability to do something well. That's what they've followed. But oftentimes, leaders, musicians, and all these churches, they get deceived. They start, walking, majestically. Pride fills their souls, becomes their daily bread. Pride, because they feel they've got something that other people don't have. That's the reason why, a politician can come and give a statement, a very careless statement, threaten the people. Can threaten the people at will. Because of pride. They think they've got so many people following them. Initially, they are just following you because you understand some things that they can't understand. They are following you because there is something that you are able to do better than they can. And you can't understand that. Jesus, when he was on earth, demonstrated one thing, and which we've not emulated. Jesus Christ was the great leader, and he's the greatest leader of all. He chose 12 people, and he called them disciples. 12 of them. He mentored them. Jesus Christ mentored these 12 people. These 12 guys, Jesus Christ mentored them. He mentored them so well. He gave them all the understanding that they needed. He gave them. And later, he left. Jesus Christ never built a road. Jesus Christ never built a building. He left 11 men. He left 11 men. And today, you've got the information about Jesus Christ. You see the power that is in mentorship. You see the power that is in inspiration. Jesus only inspired, the people that he inspired closely we are just 11. We are just 11, the people that he left. Today you and I know about Jesus Christ. You see, let me tell you the power of mentorship. The power of mentorship is very powerful. Real leaders, true leaders, they don't leave their names on buildings. They don't build roads so that they can name themselves after the roads. Real leaders don't do that. Real leaders don't build buildings because buildings will fall. Those buildings you are naming after your names will fall. Those roads you are naming after your name, you will fall. Will fall. At some point, you know, the next generation will come and rename it, so we will name it something else. We will name it something else. Let me tell you, the best way to leave your name or to leave the legacy is to impact, to make the impact on people's lives, to mentor people, create more leaders. Your excellencies across Africa, there are people that want to lead after you've left, after you leave that office. There are people that are aspiring. They are very young in schools, some of them are in schools, some of them are in villages. And at some point they think they are not good enough. Sometimes they think things, you know, they can't just be like you. They look up to you. And you do not mentor them. You do not tell them that it is possible to dream. You shouldn't tell them that even you, it was just a dream. You are just dreaming that, you know, that at some point you will become the president, and today you are the president. Mentor them, tell them it is possible to dream. But I know the reason why you don't do that, because you know you want to continue using knowledge as a discriminatory factor. As a matter of fact, you know, you leaders should understand that the best contribution you can do to the future is your successor. Is your successor. That's the best contribution you can do for the future, is your successor. Now today people are afraid because they don't want to share knowledge. They don't want to share their knowledge. They don't want to share their story because they are afraid, they are scared to say somebody will come and grab my seat. You know, Jesus Christ mentored people when he was on earth. Jesus Christ never left, you know, he never built any road. Jesus Christ didn't build any building. He never built anything. He left the information with people. With 11 people. Today you and I know about Jesus Christ. So the only legacy, the only true legacy that is reputable and that can never vanish, that can never vanish, is the legacy that you put on people's faces. And that's why true leaders, their names are not written on the tombstones. Their names are written on people's faces because they took time to inspire people. They thought, you know, they had time to inspire, they had time to mentor people, to mentor youths. You've got a responsibility the moment we put you in that position, sir, madam. You've got a responsibility to mentor people, to mentor youths, to tell them it's possible to dream. You can be like me. You can achieve like me. You can achieve. You know, tell them it's possible that they can be like you. But that's not happening in Zambia. That's not happening in Africa. Our leaders today, their biggest thing, they are busy manipulating. They are busy manipulating us. They are busy working on us so that, you know, they can secure the next position. They can secure the next seat. Leadership is about self-sacrifice. Leadership is about understanding that you only have one life to live, and therefore you should make it count.
You know, at some point, I used to think, maybe my brothers, my African brothers, my African sisters are docile. Their levels of submission are just too high. You know, Zambians especially, we allow things that we shouldn't allow. We allow politicians to overstep their boundaries to the point that they even start beating police officers at the police station. You know, we submit too much. That's what I used to think. That Zambians submit too much, Africans submit too much to their leaders. They are peaceful. But then I realized I continued my survey. I continued, you know, looking for information, checking for information, trying to see whatever that I could find just to answer this question, to say, why, you know, why is it that, you know, Africans don't take politics and leadership seriously? A person would stand there and start manipulating them, and they are nowhere close in understanding that it's just manipulating. I started checking, I started looking for information. I would go rally, and I discovered one thing. I discovered one thing to say, the only reason and the reason why Africa and Zambia at large, why Zambian people are quiet, it's because they don't know. They don't know what should be the case. They don't know what politics should produce. They don't know what politics should do to their lives. And that's the reason why Zambians and Africans are quiet. It's because they don't know, they've got no understanding whatsoever. They've got no understanding. They think politics is about wearing a t-shirt, a chitenge, chanting slogans, you know, benefit a bit when a politician comes around. That's their understanding. That's their understanding. They don't know what politics should produce. And this is what we should tell our people. Trust me, this revolution and this movement I'll start, we are going to educate people. I'm going to educate people. I'm going to tell people what politics should produce. What impact politics should do on your life, you personally as a person. What politics should do to this country, to these countries. Those are some of the things we have to understand. Until we understand that, we will always be misled. Not until we understand, not until we attain that political maturity, that political understanding, we will always be misled. We will always be misled. Left, right, center will always be misled. So we have to attain that political maturity, that political understanding, what politics should do. Apart from chanting slogans, yes, chanting slogans, but what is it that chanting slogans should produce? What is it? What is it that should impact? What impact should, politics, what impact must politics have on my life and my children? Those are some of the things that we should ask ourselves and understand that really politics is not a small issue. And you journalists, sometimes you don't help us very much because you don't ask, the important question. You don't ask these leaders important questions. You should ask them questions like, who inspired you? Who inspired you? Who inspired? You should ask when you see Ali Kalaba, you see any person that is aspiring, you ask them, who inspired you? Who mentored you? Because we might be talking not knowing that our politicians were inspired by it. Because we have to know from the start who inspired you, who mentored you. Those are some of the things we have to understand. We as the followers. These people should understand that
Real leadership, don't follow followers. You don't go out there to ask people to follow you. No. You don't fake defections. You don't fake defections. You have to pursue your purpose. You have to pursue that thing. That is you have to pursue your purpose, and people will follow you naturally. You don't have to start, faking people to follow you, for the sake of impressions. That's not leadership. And let me tell you one thing. This person said, it's very easy. It's very easy. It's very easy to lead stupid people. Do you know that? Do you know that? He gave an example. He got a live chicken. Then yambo wifunya masako. We don't stula na maka. I studele wa iposa palia. Mba nkoko ya fia vechifunga la shifia ya tondo bale nkoko fia kalipa feachita. Mba vula to wheat. Kutumale to wheat stratu to shan to wheat to ya. Wala iposela nkoko. Nkoko ya yambo konga. The chicken starts following. Starts following the same person who is throwing that. That is how easy you are. That is how easy you are to lead. People will impoverish you and then use, poverty to enhance their staying power. So, in short, poverty has become a special vehicle for those that want to perpetuate their staying power. They will simply ride on the poverty that they've created. Deliberately they create poverty so that they can ride on it. They can ride on poverty to get to it. And they bring, measures and things, community groups that are not sustainable. Fund you, give you salt, give you meal, give you all sorts of things on the poverty that they created. To my brothers across Africa and sisters, this revolution has to kick off, and right now. We have to start taking responsibility. We have to start taking responsibility for our countries. Let us not look at the things that things that don't matter. Let us look at our mutual problems, the mutual problems that we have as Africans. We all have 3 mutual problems, and these are the things that we should foster. We should we should demand change. Revolution like this, 10 systems. Therefore, we should be ready for them. We should be ready for them. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, these 3 things that we have, in common. These are just, we are talking about political oppression, economic exploitation, social degradation. These are the 3 things that we Africans have in common. And we should foster these things. We should fight against these things. We should fight against these things. Let us go and educate our people. Let us go and educate our people in our various communities. Let us tell them what politics should produce. Let us tell them what politics should do to their lives. They are doing it out of ignorance. They are doing it out of ignorance. Please, please, please. This is a mandate I'm giving you. This is a mandate I'm giving you. Let us educate the people around us. What politics should produce. What politics should do to their lives. Please, let us impact the world. Let us impact the world the best way we can. We've got limited time on earth. We've got limited time on earth. Therefore, there is no time to waste. There is no time to chill. These people, Mauritius, are taking everything. Chinese are taking over the continent at our watch. And we are watching. They are taking over our continent. Please, 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 let us engage them the right way we can. The only threat that they have is to take us to prison. Tell them we are ready. Tell them we are ready. And in my case, not scared of going to prison. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anything. Even death itself. So don't threaten me with anything. Because I'm a dead man. I'm here. I'm here already. The only thing that is remaining is for me to die. That's all. That's all. And this is the reason why I've decided, to take responsibility for my country, because I don't know how much time I've remained with. And you don't know also. Therefore, it's now or never before these people continue with the abuse that we've seen. Abuse of resources. Abuse of systems. People now want to change the constitution so that they can perpetuate their state. That's the politician's mind. The politician's mind is about manipulation. Please, I'm giving you this mandate. Let us go out there and we should tell them that it is freedom for everyone or freedom for nobody. That we are not going to sit quiet. We are not going to sit idle. We've got a mind that is sound. We've got an understanding. We'll create a statesman. We are going to create a statesman, a soldier who understands things and not just chanting slogans. We want people who understand and youths that are able to comprehend issues as they are and not be taken for granted. We can do better together as Africans. We can do better and we can develop. I know after just finishing talking like this, somebody will say Jason Chipepo has been paid to do whatever that he has done. Jason Chipepo has been given money. Jason Chipepo, a lot of things will be said about me. I don't care. And a lot of people will come in and relate me to a lot of people, bring a lot of issues. Let me tell you, I have a mother. Her name is Delphine Chishala. She sells fish at Chisokone Market. She's the woman that has brought me up. And in my upbringing, I've only learned one thing, and that is love. My mother didn't tell me who to love. My mother taught me to love everyone. And it's out of love that today I've decided to resign. It's out of love of my country. I love this country so much that I cannot be seeing my country degrading at my watch. I feel I've got a responsibility. That my voice is important, my voice is necessary to make things move in this country. And that's the reason why I've decided to resign. And if you believe to me thinking Jason has been paid, Jason has been given money, well, let me remind you. When I explained this to my mother, she thought, or she thinks even up to now, that I've gone crazy. I've gone mad. I'm too selfish. The reason why she said that, because she was looking at my siblings, who all of them are jobless, and I'm the only person working. And my father, my stepfather, is bedridden. Is bedridden. So if you tell me that I've been paid, yeah, then that's just how shallow you want to be. That's just how shallow you want to be. But this is not about getting paid.
I just want to take responsibility for my country. I just want to be that youth that will stand. Even if it remains remaining with nothing. I've remained with nothing because after speaking like this, I know people will drag me. People are going to drag me left, right, center and tell me. And let me tell you, I'm ready for you. I'm ready in whichever way that you want to attack me. I'm ready for you. I'm ready. Come and take me. Come and take me. And I'm in Lusaka. You don't have to travel to Nakonde to look for me. My number is right there. You will see the number that is on your screen right now. Call that number. Come. Call me. Tell me whatever that you want to tell. Insult me. But I tell you, civil servants in Zambia are working under very difficult conditions. And if we do not improve the living standards of our workers, this country is going to degenerate even further. Civil servants are suffering. Police officers are suffering because of this cadreism. Cadres will go out an hospital and start insulting nurses. Cadres would go out to school and start giving instruction to teachers. Teachers are now living in fear. Fear of being transferred. Fear of being beaten. Fear of being victimized. Is this a country that we want to live in? Sure, honestly. We've got a future to protect. This is our land. This is the only Zambia that we have. And if we let go of this Zambia to degenerate even further, we have ourselves to blame. And I'm telling you, my fellow youths out there, I'm telling you, and I'm urging you, please, desist from political violence. That's not, it's not going to give you anything. It's not going to give you anything. The people that you are fighting for, let me tell you something about them. They are fat. Their pot bellies are big. They drive Porsche cars. They drive Porsche cars and fuel is nothing to talk about. They've got big houses. Such that even if they were to die today, their children's children can never suffer. You yourself, what do you have? You yourself that want to insult me. You yourself that want to think I've been paid. What do you have? To live for your children, even if you are to die today. What do you have yourself? Come on guys, we can do better. We can do better as a country and we can move in the right direction if at all we become one. We unite. And let me tell you one thing. With unity, we can tie up a lion. With unity, a spider web can tie up a lion. The reason why they play tribal politics, trying to divide you, trying to, it's because they say, divide them so that you can lead them. Divide them so that you can lead them. The reason why they want to create a very big demarcation between the Tongas and the Bembas, it's because they want you to believe that and think that Tongas are bad people. And the Tongas to think Bembas are bad people. So that they continue misleading you. So that they continue leading you. Because when you are divided, you are weak. You only become strong when you unite as a people. That's the only time you become strong. The reason why they are playing such kind of politics is because they want to continue riding on the same primitive, tactics. And that should not be condoned in the 21st century. That should not be condoned. We are brothers. We are brothers. Whether you are Tonga, the time our forefathers, Kenneth Kaunda was getting independence. The time they were fighting for independence, there was no Tonga, there was no Lozi, there was no Bemba, there was no Luvali, there was just Zambia. There was just Zambia, and that's the reason why they fought with so much power, because they were united. And on this battle which we have around us, if we don't unite, we are going to lose it. We are going to lose it on the ground. Zambians, Africans, I want to tell you, You know, just like Solomon said, woe to the land when a slave becomes king. The people that are leading us are slave in mind. They are slave in mind, Zambians. I know you disagree. You disagree this, but let me tell you, they are slave in mind, and that's the reason why you always see them. They want names. They want honorable. They want, they want you to address them a certain way, which is special. Why do they need that? They need that because they are not effective. They are not effective, and that's the reason why they need the title so much that if you don't include it when addressing them, they will feel offended. They feel like you've insulted them. They are not effective. The more effective you become as a leader, the less titles you need. Because when you are effective, when you are not effective, you need a title. You need a title. You need that title. You need that title for it to cover up that space, of you not being effective. But when you are effective, you don't need a title. People will know you even if you haven't introduced yourself, because you are effective. People are able to see your work, and that's the reason why you don't need titles. You don't need titles. Our people have fallen in love with positions. They've fallen in love with power. Forgetting the biggest role, that it's not about power, it's about empowerment. It's not about power, it's about empowerment. That's why I want to remind you and tell you one thing, that you can put a crown on a princess's head, but that won't change their mind. You can put a crown on the head of a thug. That won't change the thugger in him. You can put a good name on a thug. That won't change him. No. Let's check the credibility of the people that we are putting in positions. We've got a mandate. We've got a mandate to secure, to protect this land. This land is ours. And if we do not take responsibility, we the youths who have ourselves to blame across Africa, we have to rise and take responsibility for once. These people that we've chosen are taking advantage of us. They are taking advantage of our silence. They are taking advantage of our silence. This I can tell you. They are taking advantage of us. Please, I want to urge, each and everyone, that we can do better. And also to note, some of the things that I've come to understand in life. Leadership is not about you trying to maintain your followers. It's about you pursuing your purpose. You pursuing your purpose and achieving it. You pursuing that thing that you love. And that is what leadership is all about. It's about understanding that you are just a tool in people's hands. You are just a tool. Therefore, when imagine you are just a tool. When people, let me give an example of a slasher. You are holding a slasher in your hands. Does a slasher decide what how it wants to slash? No. The slasher will be there in your hands, and it's you that will be slashing. It's you that will be slashing. But the people that are, it's the person that is controlling the slasher, and not the slasher controlling the person. This is what is happening in Zambia. This is what is happening in Africa. People are, the slasher is controlling the person. The slasher is controlling the person, which should not be the case. This should not be the case. It's the slasher that should be controlled by the person. Now these people that we've engaged, we the people we've engaged them, they want to use now, you know what they've learned in that house against us. They want to use the constitution. They want to use whatever that they can use just to intimidate us so that we shouldn't talk. Let me tell you one thing. I'm ready. I'm ready for you in whatever capacity. But let me make it so clear to you that even if you take me to prison today, my voice will never be silenced, because I've decided, I've just terminated the job which I love so dearly for this. So no, you should know that I'll be so dedicated. I'll be so dedicated such that you will never sneeze without me interfering. You will never sneeze. You will never sneeze without me interfering. I'll talk about the corruption in whichever way I feel like. I'll talk about good governance in whichever way I feel like, and in my own words. Because when you're a public officer, you are bound for public scrutiny. And that does not mean we are going to infringe on your rights. No. We are just going to tell you off. We are just going to remind you on what you're supposed to do. We are just going to remind you of the kind of a person you should be. So when we engage you, and you should understand this, the moment you acquire public trust, you become a public property. You become a public property. Worse off if you even use, public money. Worse, you are a full-time public official. Therefore, we should engage you each time we feel like engaging you. And know that as a leader, you should have tolerance. As a leader, you should have tolerance. People are going to come in, insult you. People are going to say a lot of things about you. But that doesn't mean that you should respond. Some of them, you should use them to learn. You should learn and work on yourself. Stop reacting to each and every meme you see. No, he's insulting, he's abusing, he's infringing. Come on. Leadership is about tolerance. You are leading a lot of people. And we, the people, we've got different temperaments. We've got different perceptions. We've got, who are trained differently. Some, have got vulgar language. Some have got strong language. Some have got, calm voices. You have to understand that. And when they say things and use that, take the positive things that they've spoken and use it to your advantage. Even when you come to talk, be that person that will give guidance. Guidance, no, ABCD is what we'll do. When they, at this point, would engage in this, at this point, we'll do that. This country has to move, and the only way it can move is about you providing leadership. No one is being misled. I hear certain statements, no one is being misled. Who is being misled? And for how long are you going to be misled? I think the people that say that are being economical with the truth. It's an understatement. No one is being misled in this country unless you don't live here. We are the unique cadres who are so powerful, they were a bit, but not this kind of behavior that we've seen. And they never attacked police officers at the police station. At the police station, cadres go there and start fighting the officers. I've never seen that thing. I've never seen such kind of behavior. I've never seen. This is a place where we've seen cadres, especially PF cadres, going to Rwanda and insult big insults. And I didn't see a directive of any person, in telling that person to, ordering that for those people to be arrested. With vehicles, cadres are now soldiers in Zambia. Cadres are now, it's a group that you should fear. We should now be walking in fear in our country. This is democracy. This is democracy. And people should voice out. It's their right. And now, when you can't silence us. You can't silence us. We have to speak. And I've got more. I'll talk more about the civil service. The civil service is being abused day in, day out. The nurses, the teachers, the soldiers, the police officers, they are being abused. Watch out for my next video. I'm in Lusaka. If you want to talk to me, if you want to arrest me, you want to talk about me, please, that is the number to call. That is the number to call. And I'll be there. Trust me, I'm not running away. I'm not running away. What I know is that I haven't insulted. I've just resigned on moral grounds. I want to take responsibility for my country, which I feel is degrading. Because it has got, people that like sugarcoating things. I want you to put yourselves in our shoes as civil servants. Maybe not me, but all civil servants. Let me not talk about us. How do you think we feel when you fail to provide leadership there? When you fail to do the right thing? Because when you fail to do the right thing, it trickles down to us. It trickles down to us. That failure that is seen on top, it trickles down to us. Our administration, our supervisors becomes failures. Just because there is no leadership at the top. And that's the reason why, a civil servant would walk in shame, walking in shame, knowing that he can't open his mouth simply because he has failed, is supporting a failed regime. We have to walk in shame. Because yes, we are supposed to be, we are supposed to support the government of the day. We are supposed to be servants. We are supposed to serve the government of the day. But how do we do that? How do you want them to do that? Knowing that you can't do the right thing there. You can't provide leadership. And mind you, the people that are in civil service have gone to school. They understand leadership very well. And if they don't see it, they become frustrated. You are frustrating people. And right now I'm telling you this, a lot of them, civil servants, are very frustrated. They are frustrated simply because you can't provide leadership. You can't tame your cadres. You fail to provide leadership. And that's the reason why people are frustrated. Officer in charges are frustrated. Head teachers are frustrated. Because they can't see leadership coming up. And our youths in this country, I know in Africa, we've been taught to keep quiet. We are taught silence is golden. Silence, we are just playing. We are just being cowards. We are just scared. And trust me, the 1964 youths, the youths who were there in 1964, are very disappointed with this generation. The things we've started tolerating, the things that are intolerable, the things that we are not supposed to tolerate, are the things that we are tolerating. The looting that is happening in Zambia. It's a looting like no other. Looting at an international scale. Because they know that our complaints end on Facebook. And the problem is that we have fallen in love with Facebook so much that it has even started degrading our morals. It has started degrading our morals. People now are living for likes. People are living for likes. Everyone wants to be liked. Everyone wants to be, told that you are good. Everyone wants to be adored. Everyone wants to be worshipped. No, you're handsome, you're cute, you're beautiful. Whatever. Those cute names we have. And that's the reason why we've become less effective as youths. Because we want to be loved. I want a group of people that are going to rise that has got nothing to do with love. And let me tell you, I don't want you to like me, I don't want you to love me if at all you don't understand what I'm talking about. If at all you've not gotten the concept of what I'm telling you, don't like me. Don't love me. Don't love me. Don't like me. Everyone wants to be liked. Of course, yeah. At some point, would understand. It's a human need. Everyone, each and every person wants to be liked. Each and every person wants to be loved. But it's because we want to be liked. That's the reason why we want to remain silent, even on things that we should be voicing out, because we want to be liked. No, bazani wana bwanji, bazani wana bueno. Such issues, you're failing to come out on new issues because you want everyone to like you. Not every person is going to like you, even in your silenceness. Not every person is going to like you. Even if you choose to stay silent up to, whatever time, people who still scorn you. People will still scorn you. Know that there will be people who will talk even if you choose to remain silent. Please, our voices are important for the development of this country. We have to give checks and balances to the country. Of course with respect. Of course with, acknowledging that we are addressing elderly people. We have to acknowledge that. But again, some elderly men and some elderly women, certain statements they make, they leave so much to be desired. You would wonder, we've degenerated. And I'm appealing to all meaningful youths to start thinking. We are losing it. And time is now. Electing someone does not mean we've surrendered our brain. Does not mean we've given up on ourselves for you. No. We've just allowed you. We've just given you a chance to lead us at that particular time. And if we see you, even if we elect you today and we see you tomorrow misleading us, we will stand and tell you to say, this is not the path and we are not going to oblige. We are not going to follow. We are not going to follow, sir. This country, this world, the leaders that we select are the people that decide the change in our time. The change, the development. These are the people that decide. These are the people, when you elect someone, this is the person that will decide what you will see before you die. These are the people that will decide what you will see before you die. And if you continue, you want to live a life of complaining, you have to rise up. If you don't want to live a life of complaining, you have to rise up. You have to rise up. The time is now or never. We've allowed, people have taken us, for granted for a long time. For a long time. And we cannot continue tolerating this same behavior. We cannot continue. We cannot continue. We have to be fearless. And if it means going to prison, we'll go to prison. If it means voicing out is an offense, we are ready. We are ready. We are ready. We are ready. We know the only way they are going to trap us is to tap our mouths. So that's why we have to be very careful. We have to select our words and we have to address issues with so much understanding and with so much sobriety. And let me remind you, any person that devalues you, that makes you valueless, is demonic. I'm telling you, my brother, you didn't just come here on earth to come and be, be chanting slogans. You are not a biological mistake. You are not a biological accident. You are a human being sent into this world to save the world with your fruit. And you have to discover it and save it. Save that fruit to us. We are waiting for you. We are waiting for you to rise up and present that thing that you can offer. Either in business, either in whatever sector of life. You have to believe in yourself. Nothing comes on a silver platter, and stop procrastinating. These people are making you feel useless. They want you to be wearing, t-shirts. They want you to be wearing, to be engaging in violence. To be engaging in violence from time and again. They want you to be engaging in violence. Is that all you can offer to the world? Is that all you have? Are you telling the world that it's only the muscles, the body that you have that you came, you came pachalo kwa some kutinia fiabantu. Ne chimuri jeshi wa pompa iwe PF card. Iwe UPND card. Iwe NDC card. I'm telling you, youths with an understanding should rise up in this country. And at some point, you would wonder, at some point in times like this, when there is shortage, really, there is a shortage, a crisis of leadership in the country, you would wonder where our graduates are. People graduated at the University of Zambia last year, 2018, 2017, 2016. People graduated. People graduate each and every year graduating. Where are they? Political science student, where are you? Economists, where are you? Business students, law students, where are you? We need you. And it's time. This is the only time that we have. Come here, we need you. We have to come and provide leadership for the country. Your contribution is needed here. Your contribution is needed. And let me tell you now, in my closing, I don't care what they've told you about yourself. The people that you are fighting for are successful people. Matter of fact, they've got Mercedes. they've got Range Rovers. They've got V6 engines parked at their houses. Big mansions. Stop being cheap. Stop being cheap. They've impoverished you. Then they come again and start riding on your poverty. Is that what you want for yourself? Is that what you want, my sister? Some of these things we have to start questioning. We have to start questioning the credibility of the people that we are putting in these offices. At some point, we should should feel pity for the civil servants. The job that they do is
So recommendable. They are the moral order. They are the people, they are the custodian of our morals in the country. They are the people that safeguard our morals. Therefore, we should take good care of them, because they are so important to the development of this country. They are so important for the future generation of this country. Therefore, we shouldn't take them for a ride. The council workers, look at the good job they do in our streets. They sweep our streets, they clean our towns, they make, our market look pleasant. They make our market look, like a better place for the marketeers. And at the end of the day, we don't pay them. What are we doing? These are the people that are doing the actual work of development. These are the tools of development. And then we don't pay them. What are we doing to the country? The things that we are supposed to prioritize, we are not prioritizing them. The nonsense things that are not even important are the things that we are prioritizing. And this issue, Africa, you have to know that our problem has got nothing to do with our economical systems or the economical systems present. Has got nothing to do with our economical systems. But it has got everything to do with our leaders. It's about leadership. Because the leaders that we are putting there, they go there with the written manifesto, not with the written passion. And because it's them that, are the custodian of their manifesto, you wouldn't even know what is there. And some things, they are just on paper. They are just on paper. They are just there to blind you. They are just there to blind you. You, the voters, I want you to wise up. And as we head toward 2021 general elections, I want you to remember that just because I affiliate to UPND does not make me, because you affiliate to PF, does not make me your enemy. Just because I affiliate to PF and you affiliate to UPND does not make me your enemy. It does not make me your enemy. And remember, in 1991, Zambia, the political parties, the Chilubas and them, created a system called a multi-party system. Initially, we had a one-party system. We created a multi-party system so that we can allow divergent views. People, opinions that, are not agreeing. People with different thinking, people with a different understanding. And we have to tolerate that. We have to tolerate that. We are a democracy. We are a democracy. Know that some people will talk and others will oppose. Some people will rise up something and others will oppose it. That is how a country develops. And that's how democracies work. That's how democracies work. We didn't create multi-party system so that we can have one party again. Then what is multi-party? We should, the fact that we created multi-party system, you should know that whether other people will not agree and they will affiliate to a different opinion which they agree with, and these people again will not, so that we can harmonize things. We have to harmonize situations. But if we degenerate and start thinking our party is more superior than the other,
then we are being nonsensical. We are being foolish. We are being foolish. And trust me, I don't want you to like me. I'm here to tell you what you have to know for you to do the right thing. So if you think I'm here to be liked, my friend, you are wrong. I'm too original for that. I'm too original for that. I don't want to be liked. I'm not looking for a position either. I want to serve the Zambians and Africa the best way I can before I die. I want to see how much of a footprint I can leave before I depart. How much of development I can foster before I die. How much contribution I can do to my country before I die. And that should be our mandate. Africa is one, and we should love one another. Africa is one, and we should love one another. South Africa, Congo, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Sudan, Morocco, Egypt, Chad. We are one. And you should take pride. We should take pride in our continent. The only thing that we need is that we have to attain political maturity. We have to understand what politics should produce. What politics should do to our lives. Until then, we'll always be misled. Not until we understand. And we have to know, you journalists, you should be asking these people who they are, who inspired them, who is speaking in their lives, what motivates them, what's their greatest, principles that they can't, you break. We have to know their standards and morals. Their principles may be personal, but they are never private. They are never private. They have to share them to the people. They have to share them. I want leaders across Africa to understand that leadership is not a right you demand. It's a privilege followers gives you. The only thing that you have to do is to present yourself before the people, and they'll decide. Stop pursuing the people to follow you. Stop pursuing people to follow your agenda. And you people stop following blindly. Let me tell you, Jesus said, if a blind, leads the blind, both will fall into the ditch. So if you allow people that are not going anywhere mislead you, come on, you have yourselves to blame. You have yourselves to blame, and this country will never develop. Will never develop. Come 2021 general election, we have to remain peaceful. We have to respect each other. You leaders determine a lot of things. Your attitude determines everything. The current political, violence that is happening in Zambia is not a mistake. It's being fueled by some individuals who think violence is the way to go. It's being fueled by people who feel the only way they can secure their positions is by fighting the people that are doing campaigns peacefully. I've spoken like this on the day of resignation because I've been piling information.
And trust me, I've got more than I've said today. I've been piling information, and some of you might think I've spoken for a long time now. But I want you to know and remain with this and remain thinking about it. We don't need more politicians. We need leadership in politicians. You know, I've been inspired by a lot of great men that I've come to respect. A lot of people have spoken into my life. And today, on this day, I have to mention their names because I'm so proud by their work. I'm so proud of Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King, I'm so in love with him, even in his death. That's why a day does not go without me casing April 4th, 1968. April 4th, 1968 is the day I case on a daily basis because it took, a gallant man that this world has never seen up to now. Abraham Lincoln is one person that has inspired me, how he tried to end slavery and the way he was killed. John F. Kennedy is one of them. Patrice Lumumba is one of them. Kwame Nkrumah is one of them. Nelson Mandela is one of them. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda is one of them. Our very own is one of them. Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe. As a matter of fact, I'm having a book written by Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe, Africa to Seven. These are the people that have inspired me. They've taught me that I've got nothing to live for if I can't do what I'm supposed to do as a human being. What I'm feeling in the chest, if I can't pour the things that I'm feeling in the chest out, then I haven't started living. The only day you start living is the day you stop tolerating. And I'm not going to forget Dr. Miles Monroe. Dr. Miles Monroe is one of the people that have inspired me a lot. And a lot more that I've left out. Please, let us use the education we've acquired to the success or to the development of humanity. Let us not use the knowledge that we've acquired in these universities to work against us. Let us not allow that, knowledge to start working against humanity. That knowledge should be working for us. Because the situation now is that the more educated you are, the more dangerous you are. The more sophisticated you are. That's the situation. These educated people, they want degrees, they want, they want to be professors, they want doctorates, they want all these, so that they can understand the system, so that they can manipulate the system and use it against us. That's why today in this revolution, I don't care where you've been to school, whether you're just a grade 12, whether you're a degree holder or something, but whatever that you are, I want you to grasp a bit about what I've said and reflect. What impact are we going to make with the youths of this land? before we die. Remember, we are mandated. We've got a contribution to make. And those of you that are saying, no, I've got no time to engage in politics, you've got no time to engage in politics. But politics determines everything for you. Politics determine everything about you. Because even if you want to refuse, wherever you are being misled, you are being led. Someone is leading you right now. Someone led you where you are. So telling me that you can't engage in politics because, you know, of whatever reason, you are a traitor to humanity. You are a traitor to humanity. Let us rise up and contribute to the best of this of our land. Africa is for all of us, and not the people that are coming in. The invading of Chinese in our territory is a threat. And if we continue tolerating it, just like Simon Mwansakapwepwe said, they will come in the name of investors. Oppressors will come in the name of investors. They've started coming back. They want to oppress us again. They want to oppress us again. And if you and I don't rise up to the occasion and defend ourselves, we have ourselves to blame, because there will be no future for our children. There will be no future for our children. So we have to rise up and defend what we know, our heritage. Please, I'm urging you to rise up and conquer the world. Africans and Zambians, I'm telling you, you've got the power. You've got the power to decide things. You can put an end to this nonsense that is prevailing in our countries. You can put an end to this rooting and corruption that is going on in our countries. We can put an end to it. We can put an end to it. Because it's us that have got the power to decide who goes to State House and who goes to the dog house. It's us that have got the power. It's us that have got the power to say, no sir, you are going to State House. No sir, you are going to the dog house. You are going to behind the dog house. We've got the power to do that. And we have to rise up. The time is now. We are heading towards the elections in Zambia. The fight is on. It's not a fight of fists. In the 21st century, we don't fight with hands. We fight with ideas. We fight with the right ideas that will make people vote. We don't fight with fists. We don't fight with machetes. We don't fight with guns in the 21st century. We can do better. We can do better, Africa. We can do better, Zambia. We can do better. We don't fight using all that. It's not by mighty. We fight with ideas in the 21st century. We have to see leaders fighting with ideas. Ideas on how they are going to develop. And whoever gets the best idea carries the day. Why should you shoot your friend with a gun? Why should you kill? Why should you kill your friend? Just because you affiliate differently. He belongs to PF, you belong to UPND. Why should you kill? He's your brother. And in the 21st century, that should not be condoned. Africans, we can do better. The time is now. or who have ourselves to blame? As I've said, those that want to arrest me, I'm free and I'm ready. I'm ready to be arrested for my people. I'm ready for anything that you do to me. I'm ready. I just don't want to live in fear anymore. I don't care about the rules, the things that you've put. No, I can't speak. I've said I've resigned and I'm speaking. So whatever that I've abused, I'm not a law student, therefore I don't understand. Please read it out, read it to me, and I'll go to prison. I'm ready to go to prison. For the sake of the majority Zambians. Zambians that have got the love of humanity in them. Not these machine men you've created. Not these thugs you've created. Thugs that are able to shoot a friend simply because they affiliate to different political parties. What a shame. Thugs that are able to go at a police station and fight the officers. What a shame. The reason why thugs are able to do that is because somebody is telling them that they are more powerful than the police. Because somebody is able to bail them out even if they are detained. Because somebody, somebody is always speaking for them. Is always speaking for them. So we have to zero, we have to zero political violence in our country. We have to develop a youthful leadership that is going to provide checks and balances and demand good governance. Thank you for watching me. God bless Zambia.
Bantungawa shitishe chalo ukepaisha bantu kanshimune uchenjele kulia baba musa vale fwayo